Okay, so I get basically one weekend off a month, and it's pretty much guaranteed to be raining. You know, after a drive up 85, we hit Clayton, Georgia, and then head out east on Warroman Road to Sarah's Creek Campground. We decided to set up here for the night because of all the rain. We didn't really want to do much exploring. So it's basics camping. Most of us slept in our Jeeps. Nate and his boys had set up a tarp with some hammocks underneath. And it pretty much rained all night. So this is pretty much all that was set up. The next morning we headed up Walnut Fork, which is Forest Service Road 155. Starts off as gravel and ends up as a dirt road that's probably seldom traveled. It gets real slick in some spots. It's a little rough. Highly recommend a four-wheel drive vehicle with a little bit more clearance. Today we had the Trans North Georgia mountain bike adventure going on at the same time we were up here. So we had to watch out for bikers that were trying to get through. You know, we don't want to interrupt their ride. They are going from the South Carolina border all the way over to Alabama on pretty much the hardest way across the state. So look out for them when you're up there on this time of year. Oh, Nate, you want to use your chainsaw? Yeah. There's a tree down.
Let's do it.
Huh? Yeah. We do. So all of us are slowly building up our Overland equipment, and Nate had recently gotten this chainsaw for his birthday, so it came in real handy. I do want to say that it's very handy to have 4 guys ready to do some trail work whenever you need it.
You drag it?
Yeah, man.
You could do after that, 800-foot climb you just did.
We appreciate it.
One of many. All right.
Sweet.
Yeah. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Question is, are you happy?
Oh, I'm super happy. 56 volts of generated power right here, baby.
Ego for those who like to cut.
That's right, ego for those who like to cut.
Hey, Justin, turn your headlights off real fast. As you come down this last section of the Forest Service Road 155, it gets real kind of steep and very slick, especially with all the rain that we've had lately. You come down in this little area, I call it the cul-de-sac because it has There's a few camping spots. The Bartram Trail crosses here, and the Darnell Creek Horse Trail starts here and goes down the mountain. So it's a really nice, quiet area. It's one of my favorite spots in Georgia, actually. You got Justin backing his Jeep up here, right here. And we had Justin on this trip. We had Tony and his Wrangler. We had Nathan with his sons Ethan and Logan and their FJ Cruiser. All real capable vehicles. Okay, so this section of 155 is basically an out and back. Once you get down to the cul-de-sac, you have to head back up the steep, slick part. I usually put it in four-wheel low just because it's super slick coming up. So now we're headed up Tallulah River Road. It winds up and crosses the Tallulah River several times before you get to the river crossing that we'll be crossing. It's usually not that deep, but I have seen it up to knee deep before. Alright, so now we're at the river crossing. It's usually not too deep, has a prepared roadbed, so you won't do any damage to the roadbed as long as you don't try to spin your wheels or go too fast or do any crazy stunts in it. It just heads up to the right. Kind of confuses people because it's not actually a straight crossing. You actually have to drive up the river just a little bit to the right to get up to the actual exit.
Hey Mark, see these coming across?
You'll notice that you see some mountain bikers. They have to either pedal across this river or walk across it. I think in my attempts of doing the Trans-North Georgia, I've walked across it once and I've ridden across it probably 3 times. It's not that bad to ride across.
I'm glad it ain't waist deep. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna get over here.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that your Jeep?
the blue in it there.
Oh, that's the one you came across here. Okay.
What are friends for, right?
That's right.
Here we got Tony coming across in his JL with...
Stay to the right.
Actually, Ethan's driving the FJ
Stay to the right,
Cruiser.
it's deeper.
Nate's letting him drive across the creek, and he did most of Charlie's Creek. I think he did all of Charlie's Creek, actually. So, a young man getting some experience off-roading.
Ethan, over here. There you go.
Everybody's walking this year. I usually ride it. It's not as hard to ride it as you think.
No, it just feels good to walk in it.
Oh yeah. My buddy Ed happened to be up here at the same time we were in his Jeep Patriot. You can see he's got some Jeep Badge of Honors on there. So don't underestimate the Patriot as he crosses the river.
He's got new tires for it. He's got the tires for it. You don't have the clearance, but he got the tires. Heck yeah, man. Halfway to Alabama. Woo-hoo!
Let's
Go
go.
get you some. You're doing great.
Once you cross the river, you're basically on Charlie's Creek Road. It's a popular place for new Jeepers and new to off-road people. It's not really that technical, but it does get slick in some spots and has some tight corners. And as you can see here, this Nissan truck decided to drive down a steep section down to the creek and had to get winched back up by a Jeep. Luckily for him, there's plenty of jeepers that are prepared with winches and other recovery gear to get him up out of that ravine. And I usually try to avoid Charlie's Creek as of late, unless I do it during the week, just because of tends to get a little overcrowded on Saturdays and Sundays with all the Jeep clubs and off-road clubs. It's a beautiful area. It just needs to be a little bit more taken care of, or else we could face a closure in the future. Driving up the rest of Charlie's Creek Road, we came across these Toyota guys. When's the last time you saw a Toyota Tacoma with a flatbed? Here we come across a couple of TNGAers climbing up this steep incline. I was trying to give her some plenty of room to let her try to ride up, but she eventually got off the bike and motioned for us to come through. This is a very steep section on this road. It's pretty hard to ride up, to pedal up it, so props to them for trying. This little creek crossing, the first time I ever came up here like 5 years ago, I think there was some four-wheelers playing in it. And it was just muddy and nasty looking. I was afraid, I didn't even know how deep it was, so I ended up riding my bike around to the right up through that muddy section I didn't know how deep that thing was, but it turns out it's really not that deep. So as you're coming down the mountain, the dirt road turns into hardtop and you meander through these valleys and open areas, and the colors are just so intense. With all the rain we had yesterday, the green is just popping. So we found a place to pull over a little bit for Justin to air his tires back up, and Nate had to do some trail side maintenance. The toe on his passenger side front tire got knocked out a little bit, so he's using my toolkit from Blue Ridge Overland gear to try to adjust the toe out a little bit on that tire. And Tony and Justin had to head out for the day, so me and Nate decided to just go ahead and head towards Tray Mountain, look for a camping spot. So after driving up and down Tray Mountain a little bit, we settled on a camping spot at the very top where the Appalachian Trail crosses. We had a great weather all night. It got down into the 60s with a cool breeze. The stars were absolutely amazing. You can see I got my my cot set up in here in the Jeep. It actually works great. I actually slept through the entire night, even with the limited headroom. You can see Nate's got the canopy set up with the hammocks and the tent. And you can see Ethan there is getting the campfire ready. Because what day isn't complete when you can sit by the campfire with your buddies and tell random stories all night long? Again, thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and looking forward to the next trip.